December 16th, 1971, the day that Pakistan faced its most humiliating defeat in a war at the hands of the Indian Army. It's been 50 years since the 1971 war, since India registered that huge win in the war. And India sliced, of course, Pakistan into two. A new nation came into existence as the People's Republic of Bangladesh. And today, you're going to be seeing the Prime Minister leading the nation, paying a tribute to our forces. In 1971, on this date, the then head of the Pakistan Army, General Khan Niazi, along with his 93,000 soldiers, surrendered unconditionally to the Indian Army. Bangladesh and India today celebrate 50 years of glorious victory. Prime Minister Modi will be leading the tributes at the National War Memorial in New Delhi. Prime Minister Modi will also be participating in the reception ceremony of the Swarnim Vijay Mashaals at about 10:30 this morning. Last year, Prime Minister Modi, remember, lit 4 flames as part of the Swarnim Vijay Vash. Then it was 49 years that we were marking. Since then, these 4 flames have traversed across the length and breadth of the country. The flames were taken to key battle areas and also to the houses of Gallantry Award winners and veterans of the 1971 war. Today, to mark the symbolic and historic occasion of 50 years since the war, these flames will be merged by the Prime Minister with the eternal flame that is going at the National War Memorial. So a number of events that the government has lined up today to mark this historic moment of 50 years since the 1971 war and of that historic victory. The Prime Minister will be leading the tributes with that event happening at 10:30 this morning at the National War Memorial.
Lieutenant General A.A.K. Niazi signed the instrument of surrender and placed himself and his troops under the command.
And let's quickly recap for you exactly what happened in December of 1971. 50 years ago, it was on December 3rd, 1971, that Pakistan first attacked Indian airfields. India quickly responded. In fact, the Indian Air Force jets started bombing Pakistan air bases as well as a response to this attack by Pakistan on December 3rd. Soon after that, this war went on for about 2 weeks, 13 days is when in fact it concluded. So the Indian Air Force jets had bombed back Pakistan airfields, forcing Pakistan Army to surrender along with 93,000 of their troops. This happened on this day 50 years ago. The war concluded in a matter of just 13 days. That's how decisively India defeated Pakistan in this war. It's one of the shortest wars ever recorded in history. The fact that it was completed in 13 days and Pakistan, utterly humiliated, had to surrender before India. Pakistan, of course, was then broken into 2 nations. The People's Republic of Bangladesh was born. And that's why today's a day that it's not just India commemorates and celebrates, but also Bangladesh. And let's also get you details of what exactly we'll be seeing today, the kind of events. Prime Minister Modi, of course, is going to be part of an event at the National War Memorial at 10:30 this morning. We're also seeing a lot of politics over this event because the BJP, while is planning these events, the Congress also has their own events lined up on the 50th anniversary of the 1971 war. The Congress, led by Rahul Gandhi, will honor soldiers with a big rally in Dehradun. In the rally, a large number of 1971 war veterans will be present. Rahul Gandhi will felicitate ex-servicemen on the occasion for their contribution to the nation, and his address is expected to start at around 11 a.m. Ahead of Vijay Diwas, Congress President Sonia Gandhi also recalled Indira Gandhi's contribution, hailing her for her boldness and her resilience during the 1971 war. So right now, we'll be seeing also Rahul Gandhi holding a separate event at 11 this morning in Dehradun, where he's going to be addressing several of the veterans of the 1971 war. Interestingly, it's almost as if there is a war between these two parties over exactly who celebrates it bigger, who takes credit. The Congress is again at this point referring to Indira Gandhi's leadership and hailing her for her contribution. The BJP, of course, has always had these kind of mammoth events to celebrate our forces, to celebrate all of these occasions. And keeping with that, Prime Minister Modi is going to be there at 10:30 this morning at the National War Memorial. And while, of course, the Prime Minister will be leading the nation in these kind of events, in tributes and also honoring all of the veterans of the 1971 war, the Congress has lined up separate events. Rahul Srivastava is joining us live with more details on this. He's our National Affairs Editor. Rahul, good morning. It's very interesting to see how things are going to be playing out today. You know, very normal, very ordinary for the BJP to be holding events, for the Prime Minister to be leading from the front. But perhaps for the first time, as far as I can recall, that the Congress too is holding similar events.
Yes. Good morning, Akshita. That's definitely the Congress is trying to up the ante and match the BJP as far as what the BJP's attempts to garner a very crucial vote in the country is concerned. And if you recall, in 2013, one of the earliest rallies held by Prime Minister Narendra Modi, at that time he was a Gujarat Chief Minister, was a rally with the ex-servicemen. And if I'm not wrong, I think it was somewhere in Rewari or someplace, he had held a crucial rally. And perhaps that the BJP has been wholesomely chasing that strong nationalist, pro-army, pro-defense forces agenda. And this war memorial where the Prime Minister will be going is one of the testimonies to how the BJP has taken over that, you know, that platform which the Congress could have owned at one time, primarily because 1971 war victory, the credit definitely goes to the Prime Minister of that time, Indira Gandhi. But the Congress never managed to capitalize on that. And the BJP has made that agenda its own. Now, the problem is that does it really do any justice to something like the Vijay Divas? Primarily because on this day, at that time, the nation stood united. The problem here is that if you see on November 26th, when India celebrated the Constitution Day, on that day, the opposition parties stayed away from the function where Prime Minister addressed, and the Prime Minister attacked the opposition, talking about dynasty and others. Now you have Vijay Divas, on which political parties are striking their own line. And that does not do very well as far as the nation's unified face at one time for past events and others, because you are dividing the polity. And dividing the polity, creating a sense of acrimonious electoral debate over events which have largely been pride of the nation.
That's right. It looks definitely like the Congress is picking out of the BJP's playbook here and going ahead and, organizing these mammoth events to celebrate our forces. Thanks, Rahul, for joining us with all of those details.